So this is the next in our segment about concentration, meditation, focus, and letting our attention come to a resting and quiet point within ourselves. We've been talking about how we need something very attractive to focus on. And there's a quote I'd like to share from the Upanishads. It's in one of the panels in the lead up to this video. And it says, "There is something beyond our mind which abides in silence. It is a supreme mystery beyond our thoughts. Let one's mind and subtle body rest upon that, and not rest upon anything else. God is sound in silence. Attain therefore contemplation in silence on Him." Now, the Upanishads is a wonderful book. And there are quotes in there, if you just take a single quote and you look at it carefully, and you just try to absorb the significance of what it's saying, it's very, very profound. And what Patanjali, or what the author of Upanishads is saying here, is that there's something that's beyond our mind. And it's a place of silence within ourselves. It's beyond our thoughts. And to let one's mind and one's subtle body, now the subtle body I'll describe in some other videos, but to feel that presence in us, that subtle body, and rest upon that abiding presence and not rest on anything else, and therefore to attain contemplation. And the author says that God is sound in silence. That's very fascinating. Sound and the silence. And meditation can bring us to a place of very complete silence where our thoughts become still. And we can feel the presence of our own existence, the energies within us, and how they synchronize with everything around us. And how that force sustains us. So, to get the most from our life, we have to take our attention span, which is basically all we have, and to rest it on the presence. Now, I believe you need a teacher to reveal that presence to you, to help you. And I've mentioned my teacher, Maharaji. But a good teacher will show you that presence inside that is just like if you're a blind person and you have a stick and you can feel where you're going. Or a better example is, let's say, when you feel unstable and you have a railing to hold on to. There's something in our presence, in our inner spirit, that we can rest on. And provide guidance, stability, and peace in our life. Now, when we get that stillness, we can begin to investigate what's contained in that space, what's contained in that sound and silence. And that's an endless process that we go through in our life. Meditation. And the practical aspects of meditation They can help our health, our mental health. The practice can answer a lot of questions. And in that deep presence, in that stillness of meditation, there's a deep, deep joy. So, again, to kind of sum up what we've been talking about, our attention span is very, very important. And yogis and mystics and rishis and sages have told us that we need to turn our attention away from just objects. Focus on energy. Focus on smaller and smaller portions of time and of energy to build an awareness of subtlety. And that energy, the manifestation of energy is in relation to that calmness. So in relation to that, we have a basis point of stillness. Profound stillness, that in the eye of every hurricane, we can see a still place. That in the turbulence of this universe and all the movements, and the greater and more intense the energy, the core is silent, quiet. A turning point around which everything is moving is that stillness. Now, the practical manifestations and usefulness, besides making us happier, answering questions, having an effect on our health, in human relations, provide some understanding, because when we're focused on moments and a presence, our own identity that is beyond our thoughts, and is in fact connected to everyone. It's a tradition in Hinduism, and I know in Buddhism some people do the same thing, is to look at another human being and to make a little bow. Because if you do that consciously, you realize that in another human being is a miracle. Inside other human beings is a deep, abiding presence that if we attune ourselves, we can connect to it and we can feel it. So human relations can be improved by being present. So I'm going to have to expand a little bit more on our final segment of this series. And I encourage people to look at our series on energy and many of the other subjects.